Hey fellas, before I get started in showing you what I'm up to next, it's this old truck confession time. Well, you know, I've got my theft deterrent stickers that you send a self-addressed stamped envelope and $2 per pair to R&R TOT, Post Office Box 302, Selma, Oregon, and 97538. But the issue is I have to go down there and go look in my post office box. So Larry out in Sylvania, Ohio, he sent me some about a month ago, and I didn't check my box until like October the 8th, and he sent this on September the 6th. So Larry, just for my mistake, I'm going to send you an extra pair. I'll put it in your envelope right here, and that way you'll know it's coming off to you. So no, I don't just take people's money and not deliver the goods. I'm not very good at running down the post office checking my box all the time, but I'm not going to steal nothing from you. Then Dave up in Canada sent me the Torchman Quartet CD, which was very good, by the way. Thank you, Dave. I appreciate that very much. I'm going to send you off a pair of stickers whether you like it or not. But a lot of you guys have asked about truck videos, and I got a lot of footage that I haven't edited and put up yet because that takes a whole bunch of time. And then winter's coming on. I'm trying to get firewood in and make myself a water heater, which is what I'm going to show you right now. Well, periodically somebody writes me and says, hey, why aren't you putting up any more truck videos? Well, that's because it's not the only thing I got to do around here. One of my projects here, now that it's getting on to heading toward winter and got to fire up the wood stove, keep the house warm again, I want to make a coil of pipe to go around my stove pipe to heat up some water. So maybe I can cut my water bill, hot water bill a little bit. And this is Schedule K 3/4 inch copper, and Schedule K is soft and pliable. Well, comparatively speaking. So what I've got is an 8-inch stovepipe here. That this is galvanized stovepipe. I don't even know if you can get that anymore. But got it started down on this end, and this is just a big. This comes in a big coil about 3 foot in diameter. So I took the coil and stretched it out, and then just kind of twisted it around till it was all the same diameter. I got another coil of this upstairs, so when I go to connect this one on, I'll show you what I did there. But I thought this might be interesting for somebody that, if they wanted to try this, to heat up some water off their chimney pipe. I'm not worried about losing draft because it's not inside the pipe. It's not knocking the temperature down inside the pipe any, because it's pulling the heat that's being radiated off the outside of the pipe. But what I've done, I've got a 2x4 across some sawhorses on my pipe, on my stove pipe, and then hold on to this part, and all I'm doing is bending straight down on this, and that's going to follow the curve of the pipe. If you don't bend it down against something, you're going to kink it. And if you come out here too far, let me get another angle. If you roll this back too far, like to here, and you try to pull this down, it'll kink on you right there, and it won't follow the pipe. It'll just bend down. So you got to keep it to where there's just a little bit right here when you're pulling down that it follows that pipe. It's really not all that easy. It's kind of stiff when you're trying to do this. But I spent, I don't know how many hours trying to figure out how to do this. I was trying different things to bend it around and different ways of bending it. And this is what I finally came up with. It seems to be working pretty well. I've got a nice, tight, symmetrical looking coil. I got a couple of gaps like here and here. You may even notice a couple more as I'm rotating this thing around. It's all a learning experience, so when you're pulling this thing down, you got to pull in this way a little bit as you're doing it. also noticed that right here it stays pretty round, but when you get to where it's bending it, it'll flatten it out a little bit. I kind of like that because that's more surface area to pick up some heat. Wondered what this was for. That was part of my learning curve. I bent it over and kinked it once. So I took this here piece of 1-inch T PVC fitting, and when it had spread out because of the kink, I put this on there and smacked it with a hammer on that way until I got the kink back out of it again, and started rolling it up. Well, I'm ready for my next piece of copper, but I'm going to have to solder it onto there. But I'll show you how to get that coil open. Well, now that I get the box out, I see it's Schedule L, not Schedule K. And now I remember that they told me that Schedule K was no longer available. Anyway, this is what it looks like coming out of the box. So all I really did was this. Pretty much the same diameter at this point. This will be the fun part. Make sure your coil's going in the same direction. Well, I pulled it down tight here, and then I pushed it back because it's got to come up a little less steep of an angle coming into this thing, and I got to match that coming down the other side, but it wants to kink right there, so I have to prevent that somehow. Never said it was easy. Kinking. Where'd my hammer go? life is learn as you go. I had fun learning this one. And there is 120 feet of 3/4 inch copper pipe. Now at about 5 feet. Well, the next step is to get some fittings on the end and actually get it in the house and on the stovepipe in there. Then I'll have to drill some holes through the floor and whatnot. But for right now, just showing you that I got other things to do. So even though I'd like to be working on trucks, I've got time right now. So for Redneck Restorations, this old truck and stovepipe water heaters and whatnot, I'm Jeff Bradshaw. Fuzzy the cat. Barney. Barney, you haven't been on film in a long time. Come here, Barney. Come here, Fuzz. Fuzzy the cat. Fuzzy, come here. Cats don't come when you call them.